Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get the updates. Really excited for today's beer. It's Tuesday, so I'm trying to test my palate. On Tuesdays, I try to either do a mystery beer, I try to do something that's outside my comfort zone, something I don't, like a style I don't drink a lot, maybe a beer that's been aged for a long time. Just to kind of get out of the norm, do something different, and test my palate. This fits a couple of those. It's a style I don't drink a lot, and I imagine you probably don't drink a lot either. And it's also been aged for a little over 5 years, about 5 years and a month. It's Russian River, proper glassware, hashtag always tastes better. Redemption Blonde Ale, 5.15 ABV. Redemption, the act of delivering from sin or saving from evil. I have some other beers in this series back here, and I'll probably be incorporating those sporadically for these Tuesdays. They've been aged. They're typically styles I don't drink a lot of. But anyway, what they say about this beer. Redemption is a sister beer to our award-winning ale, Damnation, which I have over here, and I'm almost positive I've reviewed before. It's like their take on Duvel, or Duval, however you pronounce it. Fashioned after a Belgian-style single, this ale is rarely brewed in America, let alone Belgium. Typically, singles are brewed only at the Trappist monasteries for the monks to enjoy with meals. They often drink only half a bottle with lunch and the rest with supper. Robed in a warm golden hue, Redemption is soft on the palate while finishing smooth and dry. Redemption is fermented in this bottle to create its fine carbonation. The spent yeast forms a thin layer of sediment in the bottom of the bottle, adding more complexity and flavor. Pour slowly, allowing the natural yeast sediment to remain in the bottle. I don't mind yeast, especially these like Belgian beers, in my beer, but I have not done anything. I took it right out of the fridge. The sediment should be at the bottom. I'll try to keep it out of the glass. It does on the also down there. It says, like use actually not even quite this shape, but don't use a pint glass. It's got the pint glass with the X through it. Anyway, let's get into it. Yeah, really excited. I love Belgian style ales. That was, early in the craft beer years in the United States. If you wanted something, different than the macros, there were, limited microbreweries I could get. But you could get some Belgian imports, and just the flavors were unlike things I had at that time. So yeah, really excited to kind of give it some props, or give Belgian style ales some props right now. Good. So, bottle fermented, age, could it have, been a geyser? Sure. Hopefully it'll come through even on the cork. It's showing you what kind of glass you should use and should not use. And, technically speaking, I'm not using the one they're saying to. But anyway, let's get into it. Recently, someone asked me in the comments why I do this sometimes in the beginning of beer reviews. It's because ever since I moved, this water is different than my old. It's got to be because I've been washing the glasses the same way. And there's bubbles that stick to the side. I just can't get these glasses as clean. Anyway, that's all I'm doing, which I did a decent job. It is that golden hue. It's definitely unfiltered in this world of, hazy IPAs and what that can mean if you say hazy. I feel like, 5 years ago when I got this bottle, I probably would have said, oh, it's hazy. But now I'm going to say it's very unfiltered looking. But you get that, yes, beautiful yellow. It's sunny on the side. And it might just be because of the lighting that's coming my way. But it's very sun. Although there is that straw element. Barely any head. I was hoping for some more. But it's a very white head. You get a little bit sticking on the side. It's very beautiful. The number of beers I've had, that look like this back in the day, that hopefully taste like this, was very high, and it's something I need to make a conscious effort to drink more of these Belgian ales, Belgian style. But anyway, let's get to the aroma. It's not bursting in aroma. It's very mild. The main thing I get is pear, and it's a very nice, ripe pear. Then I get some green-skinned apple, like some Granny Smith. You get that like outdoorsy hayfield kind of thing. It's like grassy, a little floral. Interestingly, now the apple's overtaken the pear. I still get the pear, but I'm definitely getting more of the Granny Smith apple. Grape skin, actually a little white wine coming through. I've said this many times, and it's so cool. You do these different beers, and just to speak about fruit aromas and tastes in these, and how like, oh, this tastes exactly like this fruit. This tastes exactly like this fruit when it's very ripe, when it's not very ripe, when it's very green or whatever. And then you get times where it's like, oh, the hop is making me think it's like this fruit. Then you get like, the yeast can do that with some fruits. This is very much apple, but it doesn't come across as a cider. It's very much just that apple. It's a wonderful aroma, although muted. Cheers. This still tastes good. Nice. Wow. So it does drink lighter, which it's supposed to, which is not surprising. You do get, and it's kind of funny that I said it doesn't smell like cider or something. You do get some apple cider on the taste. Kind of like the aroma. You get a little bit of pear, but the apple is more dominant. You're getting that floral stuff. It's almost like herbal tea. Almost like a chamomile. I'm going to assume it's from the yeast, but there's a little bit of a light bubblegum thing, which works better than you would think in this style and what's happening right now. And for the ABV, it does have that sweetness, but it finishes dry. Not bone dry, not like, intensely dry, but it is a drier finish than I was anticipating when I got the first kind of sweet, cidery sip. Small amount of astringency, like you going back to the tea thing, like you would get if you oversteeped the tea, which again is interesting, and why I'm trying to do things like this is I talk about that sometimes with very fresh New England style IPAs, where like that vegetal hop burn astringency. I still have to use tea, and I have to use oversteeped, and I have to use astringent, but it's not similar to the other way that I use those same expressions. That's interesting, but it is there. For those, it's more of like, this is as close as I can put words together to get you to think about what I'm talking about. This one is more specifically, like oversteeped tea, like exactly what that is. There's another fruity quality. It's not orange. Oh, no, I know what it is. Oh, interesting. And I mentioned this a little bit in the aroma. Sometimes I've had white wine where you get a slight amount of pineapple. Like I've had iced white wines that were very pineapple forward, but even just like a regular, and I'm sorry, I don't know wine very well, so I'm just saying white wine. It has the faintest pineapple in white wine in a beer taste. So it's reminiscent of pineapple, but it has to go through those different like qualifiers to get there. This is really good, and again, for the ABV to have this much flavor, the carbonation, it probably was more carbonated, I don't remember, it was probably more carbonated 5 years ago, but that'd be like the only thing I'm kind of missing right now, is that if this was a little bit champagne-y in the carbonation, I think it would just like be blowing my mind versus me just thinking like this is really good and different, and it's thirst quenching, it's refreshing, it's delicious, but it's not like that one more higher. And I think it's just, and it's, I'm the one who aged it for 5 years, so it's on me, obviously. Excuse me. Yeah. Have you had any of these Ishin beers from Russian River? Damnation, Redemption, whatever kind of, what else is there? Supplication. But anyway, have you had any of these? Anything else from Russian River you want to talk about? Table beers in general. I know their breweries have had them. I don't think I've had one since I moved about 2 years ago. So, it's definitely not a style I drink a lot of, but do you like them? Have you had them a lot? Belgian styles in general, beers from Belgium, anything, everything. Comment section below. Let's get conversation going. What are your thoughts on these Tuesdays, me trying to do something outside my comfort zone, outside the box for me anyway? Again, everything. Comment section below. Get a conversation going. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Check me out on Instagram and on Tap. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. Please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.